is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What's good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. We're going to do another what to expect on Video Game Dame and CJ McCollum in Portland. This is a team that re-upped and they sticking with their guys. They sticking with their coach. They sticking with their duo. And this is a team that's perennially in the playoffs. And they have two guys that's reliable, that have been durable, and have made their best playoff run thus far, getting to the Western Conference Finals. Although it was in a sweep, they showed a lot of progress. They showed a lot of heart. They showed a lot of fight. And it seems like they're going to stick with this team until they can get over the hump. But like I said, with this team, I feel like this is a team that a lot of people are giving a lot more credit. They're giving a lot more respect to, especially after having that big playoff run and how they closed out OKC and beating Denver, who was one of the best teams in the West all year, and closing them out. You know, Portland really rose to the occasion. They took advantage of opportunities, and they really played some good basketball. And that's what happens. Things happen, things open up, and you just got to take advantage of it and knock down those shots and make those plays that can tilt the series or tilt the games in your favor, and you just got to close them out. And they was able to do it, and that's one of the main reasons why they went that far. But they still far away from a championship team. I'm going to tell you now, I do have this team in the playoffs. I don't doubt this team. I feel like they'll be fine. They have enough, and they're going to figure out how to get W's, and that's all that matter in the regular season is getting the wins. And if you can close out games and you can win games, you get a good record, and if it's good enough, you're in the playoffs. So I don't really doubt that they make it. I don't really see anything crazy happening. I don't really see them being a championship contender. Some people feel like they can be contenders. Some people think they're going to be better than they was before. But in my personal opinion, I feel like they're going to be another good team in the West, and it's loaded this year, but I do not have them as a favorite in any way of winning the title. So I'm going to get that out of the way. But when you look at this Portland team, they changed a lot. They went in a different direction. They're going to start the season without Nurkic. I think that that's going to be something that's going to be interesting because he showed how great of a player he was in a regular season. Some people even said that they had Nurkic above McCollum this year. And that's a big thing because CJ is the second best player to a lot of people on this team. And I was a guy that thought Nurkic was a little underpaid. I was a guy that liked Nurkic getting traded to Portland. I feel like he was going to be a big pickup and a big difference maker. And he ended up becoming that. And he's only 25, and he has developed as a passer, as a scorer, as a defender. And he's a big part of what they do. Plus, he's on a decent contract for his contributions. And also, they had made a trade to get Hassan Whiteside, a guy that a lot of people gave up on, a guy that people don't trust because they feel like he quit on Miami. He had attitude and mental problems, and people really ain't feeling Hassan Whiteside like they was a couple years ago, and that's what happens. You know, people change how they feel about you. They change how they think about you. They change the relationship. And Hassan is still in the NBA. He's in a season where he really has to prove himself. He's actually in a season where they need him to be the Hassan Whiteside that we grew and love and that got him this contract. And they're going to need him to be something like that because they really are short at that center position with Nurkic being out. So he's going to have to play an important role on that. Also, you look at some of these players on this team like Anthony Tolliver and Simons. These are guys that they're going to rely on off that bench, and they're going to need to really give them that floor spacing and that shot creation that can really make them into a more dynamic team. Rodney Hood was a guy that they picked up for cheap, and he really wants to prove himself. He can play the shooting guard position. He can play the small forward position. It seemed like he was a good pickup for them. He fit right in, and I feel like he's going to have a different type of mindset after with the success he done had with this team. And the fact that he was on a season where a lot of people gave up on him, a lot of people thought he was going to be out the league, and then he had a positive impact on this Portland team, and he took the less money than a lot of people thought he was going to make, and he came back to Portland, and it seems like they're excited to have him back and they're ready to roll with him. And you need somebody that believe in them, believe in you. You need somebody that can really use your skill sets and get the best out of it. And I think Portland is a good spot for him. I said it when he got traded, and it ended up becoming true for Portland and for Rodney Hood. You look at Mario Hezonja. A lot of people has given up on him. A guy that they thought could be a shot creator, potential all-star. He had the body, he had the athleticism, he had the touch, but it never materialized into much long term or even as potential. It was potential then, but now we starting to see Mario Hezonja. It probably is what he is at this point. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, we won't know. But I know that they needed another wing and a guy that can play multiple positions for them and get some shots. And he can do that. I don't know how many minutes he's gonna play. I don't know the impact that he's gonna have on his team, but he still is a okay player at this point. And I think that he's gonna have a chip on his shoulder, especially after not getting paid and teams not willing to invest on him long term. This can be a season where he can have that Rodney Hood type season, or it can be a season where he's Mario Hezonja, and maybe he can be out of the league or he'll be in the league, depending on how teams see how he go this season. Paul Gasol was a guy that is older. He was a guy that we knew got picked up, but a lot of people don't think he's gonna make a difference on this team. And I think that he's a solid veteran. He understands the game. He knows the game, and he can play that power forward and center spot. I don't think he's a guy that you can rely on heavy. I think he can give you that 10 to 15 minutes and be productive in those minutes. But he has been going through a lot of injuries. He's not that athletically and as mobile, and he still do know how to pass. He still knows how to play in his role. He still can post up from time to time, knock down some free throws, knock down some mid range. But he's not going to be a reliable player, in my personal opinion, for Portland. I think Zach Collins, this is a year where he really needs to show what he has and really needs to do it more consistently, because they're going to need another big that's going to get those big minutes, and that's going to have to put in some type of production, especially with Nurkic being out at the beginning. They're going to need somebody to fill that spot. And a lot of people saying that Zach Collins can be this, he can be that, but he knows what he's working on. He knows this team. He has a lot of chemistry with the starters and Terry Stotton, how to use them. I just want to see what type of Zach Collins they're going to be. Is he going to be a breakout player? Is he going to be a surprise player? Or is he just going to be a solid role player? But I think they need him to do more. And I think they're going to really weigh heavy on him because he is young and he was hungry and he liked it, those big moments. And now he has opportunity to show what he got, and we're going to see if he take advantage of that. Kent Bazemore, a guy that I didn't think would be on this team. I thought he'd be on a different team, but he is a solid wing, a guy that can shoot the three. He isn't the defender that he was a couple years ago, but he still is okay. And he's a guy that really can play that three, play that two, and give you some type of shot making ability. But I don't really see him making that much of a difference, as CJ gonna get majority of those minutes, and I think Hood is gonna get a lot of those minutes. And honestly, Ken Bazemore, 19 million was really just a filler, and I don't really see him making a big impact on this team, in my personal opinion. But you never know. You look at Scal; he's a guy that people gave up on, and he really does fit what this team try to do schematically and how they use their bigs. It just he hasn't been able to get on the court and get those minutes, mostly because he's raw and he just didn't have the body and the muscle. But I actually met Scal at Summer League, and he seemed pretty decent. Still got that three ball, still got that mid range, still can do some things inside, not that much. But I really want to see how he comes out this year if they really do use him, because he's coming to the point where a lot of people either going to try him out and rent him, or he's going to be hopping from team to team, but you don't really want to be in that situation. But at the same time, a lot of people career, even Hezonja, for example, he might be one of those guys in the NBA, but he does have another chance to prove that he's worth a long-term commitment, as he is only 23 years old. Nasir Little, disappointed in college, disappointed in summer league. I don't think he's going to have a big role on this team, in my personal opinion. But he's only a rookie, and I don't think he's really going to be able to contribute in a positive way at this point at 19 years old. But other than that, I think he has a guy that has a lot of upside, and just him realizing that potential. He falls in that Scal and Hezonja range of guys that have the body, have the athletic ability, but can they put it all together
in enough time to where a team is willing to commit to him. And it looks like Little is far from it right now, but at the same time, he is only 19, so we got to put that in perspective. And he has never played one game in the NBA just yet, so I'm not going to be too harsh on him from his past. But hopefully he works hard and gets to where he wants to be and the player that he wants to be. But playing in Portland, them having Dame, CJ, and a couple wings on this roster, I definitely think that he won't get the playing time just this year. And you might see him a lot in the G League, which isn't bad because he still will be able to play and he still will be able to develop his game, even if it's not on the NBA level. But when you look at this roster, it really comes down to can Dame and CJ stay healthy? I think they will. And can they knock down and make shots and create shots? I think they will. The only reason why this team isn't high and I'm going crazy over their role players. Their role players are still suspect. I think last year they had role players that they know they could do and they knew who they are. This year they got a lot of role players that got to prove themselves. They got a lot of role players that are mysteries, and I think that could hurt them record wise. It could hurt them in the playoffs with the inexperience, and at the same time, they had to take some gambles. They had to really, try some things different to make this team stay relevant. And I think they would be in the playoff race. I don't think they're a big title contender, but when it comes to Dame and CJ, they're going to get the job done and they're going to give themselves a chance. And it's just about having the right matchup in the playoffs. And we'll see if they make it and when they make it, who they play against, and what happens in the trade deadline and buyout. I feel like they can make some moves. They got some young pieces. They got some picks. And they also have some spots because a lot of these players might not make it to the end of the season on this roster that they can fill this roster out with a couple of veterans that know how to win and can really fit into those spots that they need and feed all Damon and CJ creation. They're gonna have to create a lot of this offense. They're gonna have to do a lot of chemistry building because this team is something new and they're really trying out a lot of new players. And we really gonna see if they can fill those roles and if they can really be those missing pieces, or will that be the end of this run that they have? But with CJ and Dame locked up long term, and they do got a couple more prime years left in them, I think that this is just a season that they're going to try a lot of things, and if it works, it works. If it don't, they got to try and put some more pieces and implement them next year. And the best part about it, they don't really have any long term commitment on players on this roster outside of Dame, CJ, and Nurkic. So, and when you look at it from that perspective, as long as they got them three, they got a chance. Other than that, I don't really see this team doing anything crazy or doing anything that's going to really blow our minds. So making it to the Western Conference Finals was impressive. If they get back there again, that's even more impressive. Hopefully, they can win some more and get a little further and more competitive as the West is a little open. But I don't see it in my personal opinion. But let me know what you guys think. Is I'm underrating Portland, overrating Portland? Do you think Dame, CJ, and Nurkic are one of the best trios? Or do you think Dame and CJ the second best backcourt? Some people said they are. You got Steph, Clay, you got James and Russell. They got some competition, but at the same time, this is one of the better teams in the West, and they have been one of the most consistent teams in the West. And I think that does continue, but it really does come down to their playoff success, and it has been up and down the last couple of years. And I really want to know how much they can get out of these two. And if the Western Conference Finals is the best, then they had a hell of a run. But at the same time, you want to at least get to one finals and have a chance. And we're going to see if they can get there with these two or these three. And if they can in the future, it's going to be fun, but I just don't see it this season. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video, check out my older videos on my channel. I have many playlists. I break down rookies, I break down players, I break down summer league. I do cover the draft, and I got a mock draft up already. Not only that, I do podcasts, and I also talk about the game of basketball, whether it comes to summer league, free agency, trade deadline, buyouts, and also I cover top 10 discussions and stuff like that. So you like this type of video, you like the NBA, check out my older videos and my playlists. I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching.